Let's talk about Coinbase Wallet for a second. Coinbase is one of the most trusted exchanges and the cryptocurrency exchanges in the world. They're based in San Francisco. I don't know if they're like the top by volume. I don't think they're the top. I think Binance might be the top one by volume in terms of how much trading actually goes on. But it's a little hard to trust the reported numbers on some of these things. But they're a very, very. I really like what they're doing in the space. They have a lot of interesting products. So Coinbase Wallet, and I'm going to link to this blog post, but they had a super, super interesting update to, again, stay on the line, people. If you're not interested in cryptocurrency, I'm about to blow your mind right now. Let's stay on the line because we're going to talk through these things because there's really important things going on in the space right now. And I really think it's the single most overlooked thing happening right now, period. Maybe climate change is up there, but everyone talks about climate change. At least they pay lip service to it. We're not fucking doing shit. We're not doing shit to solve it right now as a species. We're not, straight up. But cryptocurrency is something no one even talks about. The only time they do talk about it is when someone's recording a fucking picture of a live graph of the Bitcoin price on MSNBC. It's a total joke. It blows my mind that mainstream publications are not covering this. Like in the slightest. The only time you hear about Bitcoin is when something bad happens or the price pumps or et cetera, et cetera. It's used for drugs, blah, blah, blah. But there are some super interesting things here. Okay. Coinbase Wallet. It's one of the best wallet apps, and it's not open source, which always scares me with these things, because when you're talking about giving your funds over to someone, you really want to you want the software to be open source. Now, this is something you wouldn't expect the Bank of America app to be open source. You wouldn't expect a Bank of America to show how their servers work. Absolutely not. But in the cryptocurrency space, open source is the default. There's a lot of open source wallets. The blockchains are open source. You can see everything. It's very transparent. You can audit this stuff. You can know how it works. So it does worry me a little bit that it's not open source. But it has a really cool feature they released in March, and I just opened up the Coinbase Wallet app yesterday, literally. And I was looking at it, I was like, holy shit. Here's the feature they added. For your cryptocurrency, in your Coinbase wallet, you can have Bitcoin in there. You can have Ethereum tokens. I think those are the two main. I think they support other any ERC20 token on the Ethereum blockchain, which means any token released on Ethereum. You can have on it. I don't know what else it supports. It probably supports other stuff besides that and Bitcoin. I don't know off the top of my head, but what they did is they make it very transparent. You look at your wallet balances, you look at it, and you can gain interest on your cryptocurrency holdings. Okay, so you can look at, and this is mostly this is specifically, I think, only with Ethereum tokens, but you can see if you have a stable coin in there. We've talked about stable coins on the show before. They're a coin that's pegged to something. A lot of them, the most popular ones, are pegged to the US dollar. So in my case, I had like $10 of USDC, which is one of the stable coins. And it shows me very transparently two different, it shows me two options on how I can gain interest on that cryptocurrency. It shows me the interest rate, and in a matter of clicks, a couple taps, without creating an account, without doing anything, I can transfer those funds to another interest-bearing contract and earn more interest. So let's put this in perspective. Imagine if your savings account, your savings account, which interest rates are super low right now, but imagine if you were earning 0.1% and you saw another bank that was offering 0.6%. It's kind of a pain in the ass to switch. You got to make a new account on this thing. Then you got to transfer the funds. All in all, it's going to take a week at least. And now you've got two separate accounts. The beautiful thing of cryptocurrency, the beautiful thing of these Ethereum smart contract platforms is in 2 clicks. I can move my money from something that's earning me less interest to something that's earning more interest. They have a couple ones on there, DYDX and Compound, which I had a developer from Compound Finance on the podcast. You look at No Gradient Riffs channel for that. It was a super interesting conversation. But in a couple clicks, you can move that money to a higher interest-bearing account. Now the question, how are you earning interest on this stuff? Sounds like snake oil. Well, what's amazing is there's smart contract platforms, and their the Ethereum platform has dApps, decentralized applications, built on top of it that allow you to to basically loan out your money. So you can loan out your money so other users can do things with it. And the beauty of it is when you loan your money out, it's non-custodial. Compound Finance, in the example of them, they never have control of your funds, ever. They can't take them from you. They can't seize them from you. And all of this is auditable. It's all open source. You can see this. So you can go to Compound, for example, and you can take a loan out of US dollars. So imagine if you have a lot of Bitcoin. Excuse me, imagine if you have a lot of Ether and you want to get US dollars back. So you lock up Ether in the smart contract and you get US dollars back. So remember, I put US dollars on the platform, boom, then that allows someone else, that allows person B to give Ether as collateral. You have to give up a collateral. And then that allows you to take my US dollars out and do whatever you want with it. But it's super fucking interesting that you can do this. It's a matter of just a couple clicks. It's fascinating, and none of these, they don't have control of your funds. That's the most amazing thing. When you have a Bank of America account, now granted, I've got I use a Bank of America checking account. I'm not saying burn down the banks, all this stuff. You can't trust them. They have a pretty good track record in terms of you give them your money, it's not going to go away. But the crazy thing is that I think a lot of people don't realize that when you give your bank money, when they have money, when you see you have, I have $1,000 in my checking account. If you look at that and you see, okay, I have $1,000, that money is not yours. That is an IOU. That it's not actual US dollars. That's basically a number in Bank of America's server. Oh, damn, a bug just got caught in that spider's web. Oh my God, nature. Oh no, the spider's going for it. That's insane. Now, Bank of America, they have a number on their server, on one of their servers that says you have $1,000. When you have cryptocurrency, that cryptocurrency is actually yours. You own it. You have the keys. So no one else can do anything with it except for you. You don't have to. It takes away that level of trust that you have when you go to a Bank of America. Now, granted, in the United States, we can trust our banking system. That we have FDIC insurance. You don't have. There's not. We're in one of the biggest economic collapses. Since the Great Depression, and you didn't see a run on the banks. People weren't running on the banks. To go get their money out because they thought banks were going to fail. That's not a worry, and it's a good thing. It's not a worry, but it's crazy the world we're used to with the conventional banking system, of transfer times being extremely slow. Of if one bank has another savings rate that's higher, it's a pain in the ass to go transfer it over there. It's a nightmare. So I really like the features I'm seeing with Coinbase Wallet. And still, dude, I'll be straight up on you. Do I think you should take money out of your Bank of America checking account and put it in Coinbase Wallet because you can earn about 1% interest, which is more than you can on a lot of these savings accounts? No, I don't think you should put all your money there because these things. This is all new. It's not. Compound Finance is a new thing. There's these. It's all quite new. So I'm not saying go bet the farm on this and do anything like that. What I am saying though is that there are, the first wave of, Bitcoin came along. The first wave was more around speculation. It's more around, okay, who knows what the hell this thing is going to do. My point is now we're starting to move to a place where these cryptocurrencies are actually starting to solve real problems, which they weren't doing before.